So chaliye, let's start with the independent branches. Okay, so what is this independent branches? Because we know that what is a dependent branches. Dependent branches क्या होता है? In case of dependent branches, we know that the dependent branches are those branches, okay, in which we have to maintain the branch account, okay, under the books of HO. And HO maintain the books of accounts under the three different method. One is called stock and data system, another is called synthetic method where the data system, and another is the final accounts method. And there is a separate branch accounting maintained where goods has been sold to the branch at a wholesale price, okay, and then the branch will sold at a list price or catalog price. So this is the separate point of view in terms of the dependent branches. Okay, wholesale branch is a separate concept, that and that of the dependent branches. And now we are going to discuss about the independent branches thoroughly. See, name itself is that independent. It means that when the branch itself working independently, then the concept of such independent branches will come into the picture. Okay, we need to understand first, when the size of the business is very big, okay, and the branch want to maintain its all the transactions separately, branch wants to maintain all the transactions separately, then the concept of the independent branch comes into the picture. Suppose you can say XYZ is a company and XYZ is having a branch called WVY, okay, WVY. So when XYZ company having a branch of WVI which is having itself want to maintain its whole branch system through a separate books of accounts, because WVI cater a very big market in the South India and XYZ cater market in only in central and the northern part. Okay, so they want to capture southern part. So if a single branch want to cater a very big amount, sorry, you can say very big area of the market or a very operation, then it is called a separate branch who want to maintain its books of accounts separately. And if these particular things is going to be happen in the case of head office and branch, then these types of system of maintaining separate account in the books of its own account, it is called actually an independent branch. So it entails that these branches are called independent because each independent branch maintain their comprehensive account. Comprehensive means detailed account, books to record all the transaction. They are separate trial balance of each branch can be prepared, and the HO maintain one ledger account for each such branch wherein all transaction between the HO and those particular branch are recorded. It means suppose if a head office is having 4 branch, those branches are catering a separate segment. Someone is east, someone in the southern division, someone in the central division, someone in the northern division, or someone in the central and northern division middle. So when in head office and the branch, those are separated each other. Obviously they are the related directly, but in terms of the business they are maintaining the separate books of accounts, and HO maintain a separate ledger for each one of the branches to cater or record all the transaction that has been made between the branch as well as the HO. So this is the whole scenario in terms of the independent branch. If we discuss regarding the independent branch, this is the scenario. Only the 2 things we have learned here. Number 1, when the business is very big and HO wants to expand its business with respect to a specific region or a very big region to cater, then it will open a branch which will separately maintain its own books of accounts, and the HO will maintain the ledger account of the branch or branches, and the ledger with respect to the branches, HO will maintain all the transaction which will be happen between the HO and the branches. That is what the important thing. Perfect. Now next, salient features of accounting system of an independent branch are as follows. So what is the salient features that we need to understand first? Okay, see, branch maintain its entire books of accounts, that's the very first system. Branch maintain its entire books of accounts under double entry system, that's a very different things, easy. Branch open its books of books HO account to record all the transaction. So branch open in its books HO account. So try to understand. HO, in the books of HO maintain a ledger called branch account, and in the books of branch maintain a separate ledger account called HO account. So we understand that the books of accounts are separately maintained. Till that we understand that the HO maintain all those accounts. But here the things are looking very different, because we are actually reading here the independent branch. That is what the fundamental here. Okay. चलिए. Now, branch prepared its trial balance, trading and profit and loss account at the end of accounting period and send copies to the statement to the HO for incorporation. Very easy. Branch separately maintain their trial balance, number one, trading and PL, number two, okay, at the end of the accounting period. And at the end of the accounting period, they send the copies to their statements to the HO. After receiving the final statements from branch, HO reconcile between the two branch account in HO and head office account in branch books. I am repeating again. Branch, after receiving the final statements from branch, head office reconciles between the two branch account in head office books and head office account in branch books. Okay. So head office passes necessary journal entries to incorporate branch balance in its books. Obviously, head office needs to pass all the journal entries, na? Otherwise, how HO maintain the details regarding the branch? So when HO passes all the necessary journal entries to incorporate branch trial balance in his books, okay, that is what the very big fundamental. So from here, these 5 points we have understand that separate books of accounts have been prepared by branch as well as the HO, and at the end of the period, branch will send all the statements that has been prepared by it to the HO for recording the final transaction. Okay. So now we are going to understand mainly with respect to that how the accounts has been maintained when goods has been sent to HO to branch, or any transaction happen in the branch itself, how they will be incorporated in the HO books or else in the branch book in this particular circumstances. So we need to understand one by one to make it very clear cut. Okay, we need to understand one by one to make it very clear cut. Now let's see. The HO in the books and the branch in the HO books is maintained by, देखिए, सबसे पहले dispatch of goods by to branch by HO. So it means dispatch of goods. It means goods sent to HO. Goods sent to branch. So when goods sent to branch, we know the entry has been branch to goods sent to branch. This is the typical entry. You know that very much well. For last 5-6 classes, we have done this entry a lot of time. But the thing is that in the books of branch, the entry become changed. It means goods received from the HO to HO. Goods received from the HO to HO. Obviously, there is a opposite entry, because in case of branch, HO is treated like a creditor. So definitely purchase account debit to creditor. That's the entry when the goods has been received by us or we purchase it. In this particular case, we are not going to record any purchase. Rather, we are going to record a goods received from the HO account debit to HO. That is what the branch books itself. Okay. Now next, when goods are returned by the branch to HO. Simply, sir, when goods are returned, the opposite entry is that goods sent to branch to branch. And in this particular case, it will be HO account debit to goods received from HO. Very simple, sir. Logical. Branch expenses paid by the branch. So it's very easy. When branch expenses are paid by the branch itself, so why HO will maintain the journal? No, there is no need, because HO doesn't need to record any journal with respect to the any expenses paid by the branch itself. Rather, books of the branch or the branch will record all those transactions in its books itself. So expense account debit to branch account. I am repeating again, expense account debit to branch account. This is what the journal we have. Correct. Now next, branch expense paid by HO. That is what the important. When the HO paid the expenses of the branch, then the journal will be happen here like that. So when cash paid by the HO for the expenses made by the branch, then definitely in the books of HO, cash goes out, so bank will be created and branch should be debited, because it is the branch who has expend the basically the cost. That's why branch debit is like treated like a debtor. And in case of the books of the branch, the journal will be the opposite, extremely opposite. For branch, expense is an obviously nominal account, so it will be debited, and HO will be created. That's a very basic journals. Okay. Now outside purchase made by the branch. So now what happened? Other than the goods received from the HO, branch can do one more thing. Branch can purchase the goods outside the HO. It means branch can purchase itself. So in this case, the journal will be purchase account debit to bank account. Definitely. But see, HO doesn't need to do any entry. HO doesn't need to do any entry because it doesn't matter with respect to the any goods purchased by the branch. It's outside. Okay. Rather, it is quite important if the branch purchase any goods by its own other than HO, then entry will be made only in the books of the branch. Perfect. So that's why purchase account debit to bank account. It's very simple. If you buy in cash, so bank. If you buy in credit, it will be creditors. That's all, sir. It's a little bit easy. Okay. Done है sir. चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. Now let's see. Here you can see sales affected by the branch. It is written sales affected by the branch. So definitely sales made by the branch. So no entry in the books of HO. Rather we made an entry in the branch book, that is a debtor account debit to sales. Pretty easy. Collection from the debtor of the branch received by HO. So collection from debtors of the branch received by the HO. So HO receive the money which has been collected from the branch debtor. So in the books of, सबसे पहले देखेंगे in the books of branch. So in the books of branch, the journal entry will be definitely Sunday debtor pays the money. So definitely Sunday debtor is the giver, so it will be created. And to whom branch paid the money? HO. So that's why HO debited. In case of the books of accounts of HO, bank account should be debited and branch account should be created because bank is nothing but debited because it is an expenses and it is an received money, and branch is created because HO received the money to whom it treated like a debtor. So that's why bank account debit to branch. That's very easy, sir. Okay. चलिए आगे बढ़ते. अब क्या है? Payment by HO for purchases made by the branch. I am repeating again. Payment by the HO for purchases made by the branch. So definitely HO paid the expenses made by the branch. So branch account debit to bank because branch is an expense. Branch is like a like a debtor for whom HO make the payment. So branch is debited and cash goes out. That's why bank is credited. And in the right hand side, if you check the books of accounts of the branch, then purchase is debited and or creditor is debited to head office, because see, obviously it is quite important that purchases has been debited. Is only the reason is that HO makes the payment. HO makes the payment. So if HO makes the payment, purchase should be debited. Okay. And if HO paid the amount to Sunday creditor from whom he has purchased, then Sunday creditor will be debited. It's very easy. Try to focus on that part. This 8-number journal. If suppose if branch purchase the goods, okay, if branch purchase the goods without any like in cash, simply in cash. So in that case, purchase to HO because HO paid the cash. And in case of branch purchase from the any creditor, then creditor should be debit to HO. Or let's say this is the journal actually related to the payment also. So when HO make payment to its creditor, not its creditor, it's a branch creditor, then Sunday creditor को debit to HO. So it's easy, sir. समझ में आ गया. Now purchase of asset by the branch. Oh, here see, the asset has been purchased by whom? Branch. So whether we need to do any journal here? No, sir. Why? Why I am going to put any journal entry in case HO branch purchase any asset? So in that case, sundry asset debit to bank. Okay, no entry is recorded in case of the branch asset. Okay, like purchase of the asset by the branch in the books of HO. Asset purchased by the branch, but asset account retained at HO books. So obviously asset has been purchased by the branch, but the asset account is not going to be incorporated by the branch. Rather, it will be maintained by the HO separately. Okay. So in that case, branch asset is an asset. Definitely, that's why it is debited, and branch is credited because it is written by the HO itself. And in case of the branch books, HO account is debited to bank because obviously branch paid the money in terms of the purchase of the branch asset. That's why bank is created and HO is debited because branch paid the cash with respect to the asset which is written by the HO. Perfect. Now depreciation on the branch assets, definitely branch account debit to branch asset. Here galti se bhi we do not just try to understand. Okay. Here we are maintaining the total HO books. Okay, in the very second column, this column we are maintaining the HO books, and this column we are maintaining the branch books. So remember, guys, the person with whom the asset lies, he becomes he has the right to charge the depreciation. I am repeating again, the person with whom the asset lies, he will be the person who is going to charge the depreciation on that. In that particular case, branch asset has been with the like branch. So in that case, depreciation should have to be charged by the branch itself. So we can write depreciation account debit to HO. And in case of the HO books, we cannot just show the depreciation. Rather, we are going to decrease the value of the branch asset and debiting the branch account. Okay. So this is what the journal regarding the branch to branch asset and depreciation to HO. Now remittance of funds by HO to branch. I am repeating again. Remittance. Okay. Remittance of funds by HO to the branch. So when funds has been remitted by the HO to the branch, then branch account debit to bank account, branch account debit to bank account, and bank account debit to HO account. Why this journal entry makes so? Because when fund has been remitted by the HO to branch, then branch should be debited. It means in the books of HO, it means branch received the money, that's why branch debited. Okay. And bank is credited because HO remit the cash. HO remit the cash is cash goes out from the hand of the HO. That's why. And in case of the bank branch books, you see bank is debited because it's received the cash, and HO is credited because it has received the cash from the giver who is nothing but the HO. That's why it is credited. Perfect. But see the journal entry regarding the 13 number journal serial number. So in that case, remittance of the funds by the branch to HO. क्या हुआ इसमें हुआ है पूरा उल्टा एंट्री होगा. In the 12th journal, it is HO send the cash to branch. In the 13 number journal, it is the branch who send the cash to HO. So it will be the reverse entry or totally. So when HO receive the money from the branch, then bank to branch. When the branch give the money to the HO, then HO to bank. Pretty simple. Okay. Transfer of goods from one branch to another branch. It is like nothing but you can say goods returned by the branch. This transaction is nothing but the goods from one branch to another. Then the journal will be recipient branch account debit to supplying branch. Okay. Recipient branch account debit to the supplying branch. In case of 14 journal, if you see it very clearly, the recipient branch account debit to the supplying branch. Okay. That is the first thing. And in case of the books of the branch, what we need to do, in case of the books of the branch, it is supplying branch account debit to HO. Supplying branch account debit, okay, or HO account debit to goods sent to the HO account. Okay, so supplying branch will record the entry HO account to goods sent to the, sorry, 1 minute guys, that's my mistake. In this particular case, here supplying branch, who is supplying the goods to another branch, he will do the entry HO account debit to goods sent to the HO, and in case of the recipient branch, he will receive the entry goods received from HO to HO. Because if one branch sending goods to another branch, both of the branch is having no relation. Rather, they have the direct relation with the HO. That's why the entry should be routed through the HO only. As one branch is having no transaction with the another branch, only HO said please transfer these goods to the another branch. That's why the transaction should be routed through the HO only. Who has supplied the goods? HO will be debited because HO is the receiver. They will think and goods sent to HO is the credited. And who is received the goods? HO will be credited because he is a giver with respect to the goods to that particular recipient branch. He will think and goods received from the HO. That's why he received the goods. That's why goods received from HO is debited. So this is the whole fundamental journals regarding the total 14 journals. Okay, we have done it. We have understand this. Okay, this is the fundamentalist. Okay, so we need to understand. See here, we can find some little bit of practical solution and final result of the adjustment. We are going to do it. This is the just try to understand. These are the very basic fundamentals and the very basic journals with respect to what we are going to make the books of HO as well as the books of the क्या बोलते हैं head of good branch. Okay, so branch and the HO are having the separate books of accounts, and we have to record all those transactions that has been going through these particular 14 journals in the above, and to maintain all the transactions related to that part. Okay, that is what the very basic part. Okay, now let's do some 1-2 journals, so to maintain the like idea of that part. Okay, and one more thing guys, very important here, that we should have to remember one thing very important. Tell you one thing. Okay, see, in case reconciliation, when we are going to do branch and like whenever we are going to do the branch as well as the HO reconciliation, it means in the books of HO the balance shown under the branch account, and in the books of branch, the balance shown under the HO account should have to be matched. That's why it is called reconciliation. अब सोच के देखो ना, बहुत सिंपल है. If we are recording the journals or we are recording the transaction related to the H1 branch, then definitely the adjustment should be matched. Definitely the account should be matched. Otherwise, how we can say that accounts is going to match? Both the accounts should have to match. Either it's a branch, either it may be the HO. So branch account in the books of HO should be matched with the books of like head office account in the books of branch. Branch account in the books of HO should have to be matched with the head office account in the books of the branch. Then we can say it has been reconciled and all the accounts are maintained by the H1 branch are in at par. तभी तो बोल पाएंगे ना कि वो सही हुआ है. So now let's see, कुछ यहाँ पे दिया हुआ है. Let's discuss this thoroughly. So to get a fair bit of idea regarding this. चलिए एक बार समझ लेते हैं इसका. अच्छा, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल आप लोग एक काम कीजिए, मैं आप लोग कुछ चीज दिखाऊंगा, नोट करते रहना. हाँ, इंडिपेंडेंट ब्रांच का कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट नोट्स है जो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. इट्स कंपल्सरी टू नोट so that you can get a fair bit of idea which transaction is having like make any issue regarding the reconciliation, because reconciliation तो जरूरी है सर. reconciliation is a mandatory. बिना reconciliation का नहीं होगा सर. if reconciliation is mandatory, then we need to understand which type of issues may arise in terms of reconciling the books of HO and the books of the branch. Okay, that is what the fundamental. Now let's see, please write Acha. Now here you can write simply that there are few adjustment. There are few adjustment which is worth important for the purpose of reconciliation of HO and branch books. These two are worth important in terms of the reconciliation of the HO and the branch books. That is again important. Okay, so there are few adjustment which is worth important for the purpose of reconciliation of the HO and the branch books. So that is what the important and that we need to understand first. Okay, these two are very very important and we need to understand first. चलिए एक बार समझ लेते हैं इंडिपेंडेंट ब्रांच अकाउंट का कॉन्सेप्ट. ओके, लेट्स ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड दिस. अब देखिए क्या क्या इंपॉर्टेंट एडजस्टमेंट होता है जहां पे प्रॉब्लम अराइज करता है. नंबर 1, अकाउंटिंग फॉर फिक्स्ड एसेट. द फर्स्ट बिट ऑफ like problem we may face in the accounting for fixed asset. Write down please. Accounting for fixed asset. Okay, that is point 1. Point 2, next is sir accounting for HO expenses. Accounting for HO expenses to be charged to branch. Next, accounting for inter-branch transaction. And last one is that accounting for goods in transit and cash in transit. Accounting for So now we need to understand first, that is what are the problem we may face in terms of the these 4 item. Okay, see in case of these 4 item, sometime depreciation has been charged by the HO or like there is problem in arising charging of the depreciation in the branch books. So that's how the books of HO and the books of branch may not be reconciled perfect, may not be matched. Accounting for HO expense to be charged to branch. Sometimes what happened, HO's expenses had been charged to the branch. Sometimes what happened ना, अरे HO का खर्चा HO का, लेकिन वो कहाँ पे चार्ज हो चुका, ब्रांच पे चार्ज हो चुका. That is it's made a problem to us, correct? So accounting for HO expense to be charged to the branch. Next, accounting for inter-branch transaction. It means what happened? In this case, sometime inter-branch transaction, accounting for the inter-branch transaction is going to be happen. And in this particular case, accounting for the inter-branch transaction, in this case, when one branch sending goods to another branch in a different states, then it may happen that the reconciliation of the goods may not be done. Sometimes the recipient branch and the supplying branch may not reconcile the goods has been sent from the one branch to the another branch, for which there is a deficiencies or the like surplus of goods has been made in the any of the books, for which differences happen. Deficiency in the delivering, like deficiency in the maintaining the books properly, may face certain issue in terms of the maintaining of books of accounts. Okay, or like there is a difficulties in the accounting for the inter-branch transaction. और लास्ट में क्या होता है, कभी कभार क्या होता है, सर्टेन टाइम एचओ सेंड द गुड्स टू द ब्रांच, बट वो जो है ना ऑन द वे में वो क्या हुआ था, सी वेव हो गया था, बहुत हाई लेवल पे वेव हो गया था, तो क्या हुआ था, वो रुक गया. तो वो क्या हुआ, रुक गया. सो अकाउंटिंग फॉर गुड्स इन ट्रांजिट, कैश इन ट्रांजिट, आई एम रिपीटिंग अगेन, अकाउंटिंग फॉर गुड्स इन ट्रांजिट and cash in transit. So these are the important fundamental when there may be some problem arises with respect to this particular part. Okay, so accounting for goods in transit and cash in transit. ठीक है, ये हो गया, डन है, perfect. So this is what the four important topic that we need to take care part with this part. Okay, accounting for fixed asset, accounting for HO expense to be charged to branch, accounting for inter-branch transaction, accounting for goods in transit and cash in transit. That is what done, sir. That is what we have done. Perfect. ओके चलिए अब इसको समझ लेते हैं, एक बार कुछ एग्जांपल दे देता हूं. यू आर गोइंग टू अंडरस्टैंड दिस. लेट्स डू वन एग्जांपल, वन टू एग्जांपल, इट विल बी वेरी मच क्लियर. चलिए एक एग्जांपल ले लीजिए, नोट कीजिए गाइस फटक से. ऑन 23rd March 2024, okay, HO send goods to branch for rupees 50,000. I am repeating again. On 23rd March 2024, HO sent goods to the branch for rupees 50,000. Okay. Now branch received the goods on 3rd of April 2024. Perfect. The books of accounts are closed on 31st March. We know that, sir. Books of accounts कब close है? 31st March. Book closes perfect. So this is what the journal. Now this is on 23rd March, HO sent the goods to the branch for 50,000. Branch received the goods on 3rd April. So now tell me in the books of branch how they are going to record. When goods sent by the HO to the branch made the record entry, the branch account debit to goods sent to branch. That is fine, sir. Branch account debit to the goods sent to branch has been made in the 23rd March. That is fine. But what about the HO? What about the branch? Branch has not received the goods, no? So in that case, branch will made an entry on the 3rd April when it received the goods. So now let's check it out. हाँ, ये देख लीजिए एक बार, बहुत इजी है, समझ लेते हैं एक बार. अच्छा, I am going to maintain do this sum in the next page. Okay, please copy it. फटाक से कॉपी कीजिए इसको एक बार, जल्दी कॉपी कीजिए. चलिए ओके. अच्छा अब करते हैं, दोनों के बुक्स में दिखाऊंगा, ठीक है, बोथ एचओ का बुक्स में दिखाऊंगा, बुक्स ऑफ एक एचओ एंड देन ब्रांच. सेपरेट बुक्स में दिखाऊंगा। नंबर 1 डेट, आप सोचिए 23rd March 2024 HO will make the entry, that is branch account debit to GSTB, goods sent to branch, perfect. That is what the generally they will going to make, that is no problem at all, 50,000. ये छोटा हो गया फिर से। अब ब्रांच क्या होगा, ब्रांच इन दिस पर्टिकुलर डे ही इज नॉट रिसीव्ड एनी गुड्स, क्यों एंट्री करेगा, they have not received the goods, so why they are going to make entry. Now come to 31st March. Now HO send the goods, they need not to do any entry at all, no entry, correct. HO already send the goods, so काय का एंट्री करेगा, दरकार ही नहीं एंट्री करने का। सो ब्रांच में जाएंगे, सर ब्रांच विल कॉल HO, अरे सर यू हैव सेंड मी द गुड्स ना, HO बोलेगा हाँ सर यस यस, तो ब्रांच व्हाट दे डू, दे सेड ओहो सर मे बी हो सकता है वो वेसल में ऑन द सी लेवल में अटक गया है, दैट इज इन द लाइक स्टॉप इन द सी लेवल्स और मे बी इन द रोड ड्यू टू द ट्रांसपोर्टेशन. So HO will say okay sir, you can do one thing, you can make a goods in transit entry. Branch says yes sir, why not, we are going to make a closing entry at the goods in transit. So in this particular case the generally it will be goods in transit account debit, because goods are coming. So goods are coming means what, it is coming, so goods are going to receive, it means it is nothing but type of asset. So you can say goods in transit account debit, from whom you are going to receive HO, perfect, from whom you are going to receive HO. So on 31st March you are going to make this entry, goods in transit account debit to HO, 50-50, 50-50. Now in the 3rd April 2024, on the 3rd April 2024 HO what happened, HO is not going to do any entry because कुछ दरकार ही नहीं है sir, no entry, no required at all, no entries required at all in this case. But branch will make the entry because he has received the goods na. So when he has received the goods, he will make the entry, goods received from HO account debit to, obviously this is not going to be there, goods in transit is going to be cancelled because it is received already. So goods in transit account हो गया सर, बहुत इजी था. So goods in transit account हो गया, बहुत इजी था. So this is in the books of HO and the branch. Okay. So 23rd को ये एंट्री हुआ, 31st को ये एंट्री हुआ and 3rd April को ये एंट्री हुआ. Branch is going to make two entry because branch is going to receive the goods and also the goods are in transit. That's why both the entries required in the books of branch. But in case of HO, once it has sent, they have no headache. Just making an entry on the date of transfer. That's all. तो ये हो गया सर the journal related to the goods in transit and the goods in like a goods received by the HO from the HO. Okay, so this is what we have done. Okay, ये कंप्यूटर का नोट कर लीजिएगा इसको guys, everyone please make a note of this. चलिए अब आगे बढ़ते हैं. Now let's illustrate from the institute mat itself. Okay, try to understand from the institute mat. See here we have already understand with respect to the goods in transit how to reconcile this we have already understand. Now reason for disagreement we know that sir, there are 4 points we know that with respect to the fixed asset, with respect to the fixed asset, with respect to the expenses charged to the branch account, interbank transaction we are going to learn, and with respect to the fixed asset. Okay, so these are fixed asset, interbank transaction, expense charged to the branch account, goods in transit has been done. Now let's take an example and try to understand how the reconciliation has been made by this. चलिए एक बार समझते हैं अच्छी तरह से. हाँ, please listen. very carefully. The technique of reconciliation has been illustrated through the example given below. So now we have the example into the box, which are the head office debit and trade balance with respect to the branch debit credit balance. Now try to understand. Goods sent to the branch is 1,50,000 credit in the books of HO. Perfect. So the journal is a branch account debit to goods sent to the branch. That is what the journal, we know that. But just try to see, in case of the branch, we are only seeing only 1,40,000 goods has been received from HO. Perfect. Focus and try to understand. In case of HO, 1,50,000 of the goods has been sent by the HO to the branch. But in the books of the branch, they have only recorded goods received from the HO is only 1,40,000. It means there is a 10,000 deficiency. There is a 10,000 deficiency. It may be happened due to the goods in transit. Perfect. Next, branch account HO balance is shown 1,12,000. Whereas in the HO account in the branch showing 78,000. It means branch is going to pay 78,500 to the HO, and in HO books it is showing that they are going to receive 1,12,000 from the branch. So both are differentiating. Both accounts are differentiating. So it is mismatching. So now we need to check why this level of difference has been coming. So this is how you have to reconcile in the exam. Okay. चलिए एनालिसिस करके देखते हैं. पहले तो समझ में आ गया सर. The 10,000 has been differentiated between the goods sent to the branch and goods received from the HO. It is nothing but the goods in transit. Maybe. Okay. It may be goods in transit. So here just check. On analysis of the branch account in the HO books and HO account in the branch books. Okay. So after making lot of analysis here, what the analyst find, that is on analysis of branch in the HO books and this, goods value 10,000 sent by the HO has not been received by branch. Hence not recorded in the branch book. Definitely it means 10,000 is in goods in transit. May be possible. 15,000 remitted by the branch has not been received. Has not recorded in the head office. See guys, everyone please. First of all, 10,000 ka goods branch has not received. HO send 1,50,000 ka goods, but branch receive only 1,40,000 ka goods. It means 10,000 goods branch is yet to be received or not received due to maybe goods in transit. So once it will receive, it will show in the books of branch 1,50,000 rather 1,40,000. In the second case, branch has sent some 15,000 rupees to the HO, but HO doesn't record this particular case. So it means when HO receive 15,000, it should be deducted from the balance, because HO shows that they are going to receive 1,12,000 from the branch. But actually if you see, they are going to receive less than 1,12,000, means 1,12,000 minus 15,000, because they are not record the entry of 15,000 that is received by the from the HO, from the branch. Perfect. Now see next, debt direct collection of 10,500 from a customer of the branch by HO not informed to the branch, has not recorded by the branch. देखिए guys, see, it is clearly said that 10,500 rupees has been paid by one of the branch debtor to the HO directly, which has not been incorporated in the books of branch, but in the books of HO it is recorded. It is recorded because HO received the cash but not informed to the branch. So that's why there is a discrepancy happening. There is a deficiency happening. Perfect. Next, sir. A sum of rupees 14,500 paid by branch to the suppliers of HO not recorded HO. So 14,500 paid by the branch to the supplier of HO not recorded HO. See, branch paid supplier means branch paid HO supplier. It means definitely HO should have to reduce the amount from 1,12,000. HO should have to reduce the amount of 14,500 from the 1,12,000 because branch paid the liability of the HO. So it means branch has to be reduced the amount to be received from the branch. Perfect. In the HO books. Next, head office expenditure allocation to the branch 12,000 not recorded in the branch. It means HO expenditure of rupees 12,000 has not been recorded in the branch books. 7,500 being FD interest of HO received by the branch on oral instruction from HO not recorded in the books of the HO books. Oh, very interesting. See, it's a very interesting journal actually given. Like you can say journal type, okay, like information. It means they have given 7,500, okay. 7,500 has been given by the like as a FD interest of the HO received by the branch on oral instruction from HO. Oral means verbal, okay, not recorded in the books of HO books. So guys, we understand how this different sort of transaction has impacting both the branch books as well as the HO books, both. Okay. So we understand how this has been typically impacting our books. That is what the very biggest fundamental. Perfect. How this is going to be impacted us. Now let's try to understand how we are going to record this. Okay. चलिए समझते एक बार एक एक करके सबसे पहले देखिए the same way the question given we are recording in the same way, so we are going to like put on two columns, HO column and the branch column. Okay, HO column and the branch column, one is a debit credit, ठीक है, no problem. Now goods sent to the branch 1,50,000, we are going to show it, no problem. Okay, but now we are going to reconcile this. First of all आप सोचिए guys, in the branch books the very first adjustment is this 10,000 rupees of goods has not been received by the branch. It means the goods has been in transit, so this 10,000 should have to be debited in the books of the branch. Okay, just try to understand when goods are in transit, so what is the journal? Goods in transit account debit to HO. Goods in transit account debit to HO, it means in the books of the branch we should have to add the goods in transit in the debit side. We should have to add the goods in transit in the debit side. That is a very big fundamental. Perfect. We should have to add this 10,000. Perfect. There, see, it is given, and the next is that 10,000 is in the credit side of the HO books. देखिए guys, ये देखिए एक नंबर में बहुत अच्छी तरीके से किया है. We just did it. That goods in transit account debit to HO account 10,000 10,000. We just done it. This particular before the sum that we have done it. Okay, in the copy. Perfect. Now the next entry is that 15,000 remitted by the branch. It means branch sent cash to the HO, but HO forgot to record. HO forgot to record. That is what happened. HO forgot to record. It means what happened? It means in the books of HO we need to make an entry that is cash in transit account debit to branch. देखिए कैश वही किया है, cash in transit to branch. Perfect. They have made the same entry, cash in transit to branch. We need not to do any entry in the books of the branch because branch has already sent it. But in the books of HO, we need to make a record of this. Cash in transit to branch. That is what we have done. Next, sir. Direct collection from 10,500 from a customer of the branch by HO not informed to the branch, hence not recorded by the branch. So, direct collection of 10,500 from the customer of the branch. Okay. By the HO not informed to the branch. So, inform नहीं किया हम लोगों ने branch को inform नहीं किया. Okay. So, it means branch is going to incorporate this journal. See, direct collection by the HO on behalf of the branch. It means branch is yet to be informed. So branch के books में entry होगा क्योंकि HO already make the entry, but we need to make an entry in the branch books. So what will be the entry? See, HO received the cash. So in the eyes of branch, HO is the receiver, so HO will be debited. And in the eyes of branch, debtor has paid the money, so debtor is the giver. So HO account debit to debtor 10,500. Perfect. We know the logic behind the journals. HO account debit to debtor. Perfect. That is what the logic behind the journals. Now next, a sum of 14,500 paid by branch to the supplier of HO not recorded at the HO. A sum of 14,500 paid by the branch to the supplier of HO not recorded at the HO. It means what happened? Branch paid the money, but HO not recorded. So HO should have to record the money. So bank account debit to branch account in the books of the, you can say in the books of the HO. See, Sunday credit account debit to branch. Achha, sorry, here paid to the supplier. Okay, remember guys, here it is not like that we have paid directly to the HO. Rather, we have paid the supplier of the HO. It means in the books of HO, supplier decreases. When HO supplier branch paid to the HO supplier, then the Sunday creditor balance in the books of HO will decrease. So we can write Sunday creditor will be debited and definitely branch will be credited because branch is the given in the books of the HO. That is done, sir. Next, head office expenditure allocation to the branch is 12,000, not recorded in the branch. Acha, HO expenses allocation to the branch of rupees 12,000, not recorded in the branch books. So HO expenditure allocation to the branch is 12,000, not recorded in the branch books. Okay, not recorded in the branch books. क्या होगा इसको बोलिए, HO expenses allocation to the branch not recorded in the branch books. It means we need to record it. देखिए क्या होगा, when expenditure allocated to the branch, definitely branch expense account debit to HO because HO is the giver of the expenses. So HO is the creditor, credit, and branch expense is nothing but the expenses. All the expenses losses are debit. That's why branch expense debited. Now next, 7,500 being FD interest of HO received by branch on oral instruction from HO not recorded in the HO books. So it means 7,500 being FD interest of HO received by the branch on oral instruction from HO not recorded in the HO books. So in this particular case, what is going to happen? FD interest received by the branch. Okay, so not recorded in the HO book. So HO need to record this. So bank account debit. See, obviously branch has recorded the entry. So in the normal case, bank account debit to FD interest, that is a basic journal. But as it is received by the it is recorded by the HO branch. So in the books of the HO, we are going to record branch account debit to Sunday income, or you can say Sunday income करेगा, interest income भी कर सकते. That's not doesn't matter. Okay, 7,500. So branch is a receiver of the amount. That's why branch is debited here, and in the books, income is a credit because it's a earning. So to Sunday income. Perfect. So now just check it out. In the branch books देखिए, branch books में HO and HO के books में branch. आप लोग अभी मैच हो जाएगा देखिए. See guys, just see the books of branch and books of HO. देखिए guys, both the way match होगा. Buy balance BD 78,500. See in the branch books, HO is will be treated like a creditor because it's a credit balance given. In the branch books, HO का balance दे दिया ना 78,500 is a credit balance, and in the books of branch, sorry, in the books of HO, branch is a debit balance, so it's a 1,12,000. It means branch treated like a debtor in the books of HO, and HO treated like a creditor in the books of the branch. That is a basic fundamental, guys. Okay. So buy balance BD 78,500. We plot all the entries related to this. We all plot the entries related from there. Okay. Whatever the debit and credit in terms of the books, we just recorded here. And if we see the balance comes out as 90,000, it means what? It means the branch is going to pay 90,000 to the HO. Final liability comes out 90,000. In the books of the HO, if you see the branch account, then definitely debit balance will be the 1,12,000. And after making all the adjustments that we have done in the journals, 90,000 is yet to come. With respect to that, HO is going to receive from the branch is 90,000. HO is going to receive from the branch is 90,000. So both the account is matching. It means we are done very well. We done very well. We'll match everything else. That is how we can say HO books and branch books को reconcile करना है. कोई doubt है guys? Any doubt? Very good thing we have learned right now. Just that is a basic simplification of the branch and HO reconciliation. Okay, basic simplification. So please check once. Take your time 1-2 minutes. Then we are going to move to the next part. Okay. And also we are going to solve some of the question. So make it more clear on our part. Okay. Solve करके समझ में आएगा और अच्छी तरह से. ओके चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. हाँ important point to be noted, the balance of HO in the branch books and the branch in HO have tallied. Adjustment are made only at the point where the recording has been omitted and other than the point where action has already been effected. देखिए क्या लिखा है, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक लिखा है यहाँ पे इंस्टीट्यूट ने दिया है कि both the accounts should have to match in their separate books of accounts. Adjustment are made only at that point where the recording has been omitted and other than the point where action has been already been effected. So this is how the journal entries, okay, has to be passed, and that is the basic thing. That is how we can logically make all the journals. यही तो है logic कि journals को जब करेंगे ना, guys, always remember whenever you do any journals, make it a logical, like why debit and why credit. Then next point of time, when you face any journal in front of your like front of you, respect the exam paper, then it will be very easy to understand. हाँ, this entry ऐसे होगा because ये receive हुआ तो ये मुझे आया तो debit होगा, and this is my expense, that is why it is debited. So like this, whenever you face any journal, try to understand the logic behind that. Okay, now let's see, चलिए एक बार interbank transaction समझ लेते हैं. Okay, now we are going to understand what is the interbank transaction. See, interbank transaction का meaning क्या है? Interbank transaction means when two branches are exchanging the goods or cash with each other. Very simple, make it very lucid language. Two branches are transacting against each other. When two branches are transacting against each other, it means one branch send goods to another branch and one branch receive cash from another branch. So that is what is called interbranch transaction. So in case of the interbranch transaction, transaction between two branches are usually recorded. Okay, so in case of the interbranch transaction, transaction between two branches are recorded and usually adjusted as if they were entered into only with the head HO. It is a very convenient method of treating such transaction, especially where the number of branches are large. Suppose Kolkata branch incurred an expenditure on advertisement of ₹1,000 on account of Delhi branch. The entries that would be made in such a case would be as follows. Okay, चलिए एक एग्जांपल लेके समझ लेते हैं इसको. क्या दिया है देखिए यहाँ पे. Interbank transaction, that is transaction between two branches, are usually adjusted as if they were entered into only with the HO. It is a very convenient method of treating such transaction, especially where the number of branches are large. Okay, suppose Kolkata branch incurred an expenditure on advertisement 1,000 on account of Delhi branch. The entries that would be made in such a case would be as follows. In the Kolkata books, HO account debit to cash. Okay, HO account debit to cash. Okay, so Kolkata branch से Delhi branch का खर्चा क्या है? Just try to understand. Kolkata branch spend cost for Delhi branch. So definitely they are going to transact through the route. मैंने क्या बोला था आपको? अभी हम लोग जो जर्नल किए कुछ देर पहले, what you have learned in the journal that the entry should be routed through the HO. Entry should be routed through the HO. Entry should be routed through the HO. देखिए यहाँ पे transfer of goods from one branch to another. It means the entry has been made from the supplying branch, that is Kolkata branch, HO to goods sent to the HO, and recipient branch good received from HO to the HO. It means it is routed through the HO account. That is what the important. Okay, it is routed through the HO account. Now if you see HO to office, HO to cash, and advertisement to HO, that is pretty simple because in the Delhi books advertisement is the expenditure, that's why debited, HO is like a creditor, and in the books of Kolkata HO become the like treated as a debtor because with respect to HO, Kolkata branch expend the cost and cash has been goes out from the Kolkata branch pocket, so that's why cash credited. Okay, but HO books में क्या हुआ है देखिए, Delhi branch to Kolkata branch because supply क्या बोला था मैंने आपको कि क्या होगा, recipient branch account debit to supplying branch. देखिए यही हुआ था जनरल ना, recipient branch account debit to supplying branch. Always remember the giver will be the credit because these are the personal account. These are the branch, basically the supplying branch and the recipient branch. If you see, they are treated like a personal account. So recipient branch is the receiver, supplying branch is the supplier. So that's why it's a debit, that's a credit. That's a pretty simple. Okay, चलो अब आगे बढ़ते. That is what interbank transaction. ये समझ में आ गया सर, कुछ दिक्कत नहीं है. And always remember who receive it will be debit, who pay it or who give it is a credit because it's a person. It's a nature is typically a personal. That's why. Now come to fixed asset. So when differences arises due to the fixed asset, so how it will be recorded and why the transaction has been making a differences with respect to the fixed asset, let's discuss this. चलिए समझ लेते हैं इसको एक बार. Often the accounts of fixed asset of a branch are kept in the HO books. In such a case, at the end of the year, the amount of depreciation on the asset is debited to the branch concerned by recording the following entry by HO. Often the accounts of fixed asset of a branch are kept in the HO books. Okay. In such a case, at the end of the year, the amount of depreciation on the asset is debited to the branch concerned by recording the following entry by HO. So here you can say branch account debit to branch asset account. Okay. So we know that sir, branch account debit to branch asset it is made in the books of HO. Perfect. It is made in the books of HO. So branch to branch asset account, and the branch will make the journal depreciation to HO. Pretty similar, because see, in that case, branch asset is credited because branch asset value decreasing. Branch is debited because branch is like a treating like a debtor. So branch is debited and branch asset is credited. Okay, branch account debit to branch asset account. Branch is typically treated like a expense. You can also say it's like a debtor. It's like a expenses they are treating. So in the branch account they are debiting, branch asset account is a crediting. In the books of branch definitely the asset has been used by the branch. So branch will charge the depreciation in the books. So depreciation will be debited. But we need to understand. The fixed asset in which they are charging the depreciation definitely belongs to the HO. So HO is to be credited. HO is to be credited. Perfect. Now HO is treated like the HO in the above case, branch is treated like expenses and HO is treated like a transfer of the depreciation. Okay. So depreciation the HO, it means the balance with the HO will decrease automatically if we charge depreciation, because it's a non-cash expenses. As it is an expenses, so my liability will be decreased. That's why HO is credited. Okay. Acha. Head office expense charged to the branch. Now they said head office expenses charged to the branch. Okay. This is head office expenses charged to the branch. So how this journal will be made? Let's discuss this. Chaliye. Usually the head office devotes considerable time in attending to the affairs of the branch. On the account, it may decide to raise a charge against the branch in respect of the cost of such time. In such a case, the amount is debited to the branch being receivable from branch and is credited to appropriate expenses head such as salaries account, general charges account, entertainment account, etc. That is reducing the expense in the HO books. The branch credit the HO account and debit expense account. Okay. So चलिए समझ लेते हैं एक बार क्या है. Usually the HO devotes considerable time in attending to the affairs of the branch. Usually HO devotes considerable time in attending to the affairs of the branch. Okay. On that particular case, it may decide to raise a charge against the branch. So on that particular case, it may decide to raise a charge against the branch. Okay. In respect of the cost of such time. I am repeating again. It may decide to raise a charge against the branch in respect of the cost of such time. In such a case, the amount is debited to the branch. In such a case, the amount is debited to the branch being receivable from branch and is credited to appropriate expense head such as salaries account, general charges account, entertainment account, etc. That is reducing the expenses in the HO books. The branch credit the HO account and debit expense account. The branch credit the HO account and the debit expense account. Perfect. So now just go through it. It's very easy. Simply HO expenses definitely charges to the branch. Okay, HO expenses definitely charges to the branch. That's why branch credit the HO account and debit the expense account. Okay. Now just go through it once. Because HO बहुत काम करता है. Just try to understand. HO gives lot of time with respect to the affairs of the branch, and with that case, it may decide to raise a charge against the branch. Okay, in respect to the cost of such time. That's why in such case, the amount is debited to the branch being receivable from branch and is credited to the appropriate expense headers such as salaries account. So that's why when the HO charges the expenses in the head of the branch, then branch credit the HO account and then debit the expense account. That's what happened. Okay. Now see, we are going to do the question illustration 9. Okay, illustration 9 start करते चलिए. Give journal entries in the books of an independent branch to rectify or adjust the following. Give journal entries in the books of the an independent branch to rectify or adjust the following. Branch paid 5,000 as salary to HO supervisor, but the amount paid by the branch has been debited to salary account in the books of the branch. So branch paid 5,000 as salary to HO supervisor. Okay, but the amount paid by the branch has been debited to salary account in the books of branch. Okay, that is what this says. Asset purchased by branch for rupees 25,000, but the asset account was written in HO books. Again, clear? So asset purchased by the branch, but the asset account was written in the HO book. So we need to do the journal. Okay, this particular case. A remittance of 8,000 sent by the branch has not been received by the HO. Okay, that's not a problem, sir, because it's a cash in transit. HO collected 25,000 directly from the customer of branch, but fails to give the intimation to the branch. Fails to give the intimation to the branch. Okay. Now remittance of fund by HO to branch. Remittance of fund rupees at to branch 5,000 not entered in the branch books. Not entered in the branch books. Now we need to understand with respect to in the books of the independent branch to rectify the adjust the following. Suppose guys, whenever you read the question, read it very carefully. The question specifically says that we need to record the journal in the independent branch account. It means we need to record it in the branch books. Okay, remember this. We need to record this in the branch book. That is what the very big fundamental they have said. Okay, that is a very basic fundamental, the big fundamental they have said. So in this case, if you see how we are going to record this, that is a good question. We need to just rectify this. These are the very pretty and simple journals. Okay, and we need to record this clearly. एक बार गो थ्रू कर लीजिए. We'll discuss one by one. So branch paid salary to HO supervisor, but the amount paid by the branch has been debited to salary account in the books of branch. Branch ने खुद के books में salary को debit कर दिया. Branch has been record the entry in the its own book. Okay, it's a wrong. So it means what happened. We need to just understand. Okay, it means what happened in this case. So branch paid 2,000 as salary to HO in branch paid 5,000 as salary to HO supervisor. So what is the journal we need to make? What is the journal? Definitely HO account debit to cash. That is what the see, we cannot debit the salary account because it is not our supervisor. If branch debiting the salary account, it's a totally wrong because it's not our supervisor. Rather, the supervisor is of the HO. But ठीक है, कोई बात नहीं. If we pay it, we are going to show that we pay cash to the HO. So then HO account become debited, cash account become credited, because it means when we pay to HO supervisor, it means our liability for the payment of HO become decreasing. It means देखिए, if I am paying 5,000 to the HO supervisor, it means my liability is decreasing. So in this case, HO should be debited, cash should be credited. But the entry is totally made wrong, salary to cash. But the entry is totally, it's like a rectification entry. It's like a rectification entry. The entry has been made salary to cash. Now what will be the correct entry? If the original entry is HO account debit to HO account, head office account debit to cash, and the wrong entry means salary account debit to cash. So cash is intact, fine. But the problem is that rather than debiting HO account, we debit the salary account. So to rectify it, salary should be credited and HO should be debited. Perfect. Salary should be credited and the HO account should be debited. So this is what the very first journal, that head office account debit to salary account. Head office account debit to salary account is how much, sir? 5,000. All you get it? Get that point? What I am going to discuss? देखिए यहाँ पे that the entry should be the final one, HO account debit to salary. So now I am going to make a breakup so that you can understand easily. So the correct entry is what? Correct entry is HO account debit to cash. That is what the correct entry. Do you know what the wrong entry they made in the books of the branch? Salary account debit to cash. That is a purely a wrong entry. It shouldn't be. ये तो प्योरली रॉन्ग एंट्री। तो क्या करना है सर, ये तो सही है, क्रेडिटर सही है, सो सैलरी शुड नॉट बी इन अ एंट्री, सो सैलरी शुड बी टू करेक्ट इट, सैलरी शुड बी क्रेडिटेड and HO should come, so HO should be debited. Done sir, done है sir. HO to cash it's a correct, salary to cash is a wrong and it's a rectified. Okay, so the entry made by me is the HO account debit to salary account. That is what we have done. Perfect है sir. चलिए अब आगे बढ़ते, ठीक है। ये नोट कर लीजिए, आगे बढ़ते हैं। Asset purchased by branch for rupees 25,000, but the asset account was written in HO books. अच्छा, perfect है sir. Now asset purchased by the branch for rupees 25,000. How much sir? 25,000. Okay. Now asset purchased by the branch is 25,000, but asset account was written in HO books. Asset account was written in the HO books. That is what we understand. Perfect. Asset account was written in the HO books. Perfect. So now क्या हुआ है? So in this case, if you see, so what we should do in this particular case? In this particular case, asset purchased by the branch for 25,000. So just try to focus on that part. If asset is purchased by the branch 20%, the asset was written by the HO books. So in this case, the journal should have to be made correctly. We need to make the correct journal entry. What? चलो ऊपर चलते एक बार, हाँ। Let's see here. आप लोग खुद ही बताओगे, देखिए। Asset purchased by the branch, but asset account written by books, HO books. So branch asset account debit to bank, that is the journal, and in the books of branch HO account debit to bank, that should have to be happen. So when asset purchased by the branch, we are maintaining the branch account, we are not maintaining the HO account, so we are going to focus on that HO account debit to bank. Okay, that is what the journal. Now let's see, come here. But the asset account was written in HO books. So we need to make a journal here. We need to make a journal here. Okay. Perfect. We need to make a journal here. So what will be the journal, sir? Very easy. See that no journal has been made. Try to understand. In this particular case, no journal has been made. It means they are not said that it is wrong or it is wrong. देखिए एक बार. They are not said that that is wrong, either wrong, this is wrong, nothing. They said written by the HO. So it means head office account debit to bank account because branch paid the money, or liability account. It means Sunday creditor, you can say. So what is amount? 25,000. Narration should form part of your answer. Remember, huh? Being asset purchased by branch so being asset purchased by the branch and written by the same. Okay, being asset purchased by branch and written the same. That is what the actual journal. So now 2 completed, now 3. They said a remittance of 8,000 sent by the branch has not been received by HO. So try to understand. If remittance already sent by the branch and it is not received by the HO, so why I am going to take care of this part? Because as a branch, I have already recorded the things in my books. That is HO account debit to bank. But if HO not received, it's a problem of HO. HO is going to record cash in transfer account debit to branch. But in my books, I have made all the entries. So in the books of branch, no entry is required. Perfect. In the books of branch, no entry required because it's a cash in transit in the books of HO. Fourth, HO collected 25,000 directly from the customer of the branch, but fails to give the intimation to your branch. It means HO received the money. HO received the money. Okay, but the bank, but the branch, sorry, not bank, sorry, but the branch not received the money or no intimation has been given. Okay, no intimation has been given. So what do we need to do? What do we need to do? So चलेगा, इसको सॉल्व करते एक बार देखिए, इसका भी जर्नल एक बार देख लेते, देखिए चलिए, सब जर्नल से, ऑल द जर्नल्स विल बी देयर, नो प्रॉब्लम. Collection from debtor of the branch by received by HO. See here what is written. Collection from the debtor of the branch received by HO. So branch के बुक्स में कुछ एंट्री हुआ था क्या? नहीं सर, because no intimation is received by the branch. So no journal has been recorded in the books of branch. So in the books of branch, we need to make a journal of HO account debit to Sunday debtor. Perfect. In the books of branch, we need to make the record journal of the HO account debit to Sunday debtor. Perfect. So that is how we made a journal here. Okay. एक जनरल भी करना है मुझे, सॉरी क्या करना है सर? सी एचओ अकाउंट डेबिट टू डेटर, एचओ अकाउंट डेबिट टू डेटर कितना सर? 25,000. परफेक्ट. सो जनरल कर लीजिए सर, बहुत इजी है. हेड ऑफिस अकाउंट डेबिट टू संडे डेटर. डोंट पुट ब्रांच डेटर. हाँ, डोंट पुट हेयर द ब्रांच डेटर. कितना था? 25,000 था. 25,000 था ना? यस 25,000 है. नाउ नेक्स्ट जर्नल, रेमिटेंस ऑफ फंड बाय एचओ टू ब्रांच 5,000 नॉट रिकॉर्ड इन द ब्रांच बुक्स. अच्छा ओके. सी इन दिस पर्टिकुलर केस ये तो हो गया, ये नोट कर लीजिए एक बार, ये नोट कर लीजिए गाइस, जल्दी जल्दी नोट कर लीजिए एक बार. Okay, that is what we have done. Now let's see. Next question is that remittance of funds by HO to branch 5,000 not recorded entered in the branch book. So remittance of fund by HO to branch. It means HO send the funds to the branch. So in the books of branch, in the books of HO, the journal is that the journal is that branch account debit to bank, that we know that, and in the books of branch the journal should have to be bank account debit to HO. Perfect. But it is not recorded because the cash has not been recorded yet till that. So क्या जनरल करना है मुझे गाइस? चलिए लिख लीजिए 5 नंबर. So journal will be bank account debit to HO because obviously it is going to be received by the branch. See, it is not said that journal has, it is not said that the cash in transit or something is yet to be received. Rather it is not recorded. They said it is not recorded. It means that they have failed to record the entry. So branch failed to record the entry. So bank account debit to head office. How much money they have received? 5,000. कंप्लीट है सर, हो गया. बहुत इजी है. देखिए ऐसे जर्नल्स करते हैं हम लोग. दैट इज हाउ वी आर गोइंग टू रिकॉर्ड द ऑल द जर्नल्स. ओके, दैट इज व्हाट द प्रोसीड्यूर. इफ वी फॉलो दिस प्रोसीड्यूर इट विल बी वेरी गुड फॉर अस. वी कैन डू इट एनी क्वेश्चन इजीली, वेरी इजीली. ओके, अच्छा. Now we are going to do one sums based on the multiple ledger. Okay, this is going to be a challenging sum. Okay, multiple adjustment करने हैं. बहुत सारे एडजस्टमेंट्स है यहाँ पे, समझना है सबसे पहले और उसके हिसाब से करना है. बहुत सारे एडजस्टमेंट्स है. ओके, चलिए ठीक है, समझ लेते एक बार. क्वेश्चन नंबर 10 को समझ लेते. ये एक बार देख लीजिए, उसके बाद क्वेश्चन नंबर 10 समझेंगे. चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. क्वेश्चन नंबर 10 गो थ्रू करते हैं. चलिए, The following trial balances as at 31st December 20 have been extracted from the books of Major Limited and its branch at a stage where the only adjustment requiring to be made prior to the preparation of a balance sheet for the undertaking as a whole are to be done. Now the following trial balances as at 31st December 2000 have been extracted from the books of Major Limited. That is saying, okay, from the books of Major Limited and its branch at a stage where the only adjustment requiring to be made prior to the preparation of a balance sheet. Now it's clear cut. That is, it is given HO and branch का सारा balance दे दिया है and the books has been extracted from the trial balance. See here, it is written and its branch at a stage where the only adjustment requiring to be made prior to the preparation of the balance sheet for the undertaking as a whole are to be done. So all the adjustments should need to be done based on the stages that they have. HO and branch, we have the account like share capital, fixed asset, current liability, stock. Note 2 is given, revenue account is given. Revenue means you can say consider as a sale. Branch is given, head office account is given. Okay, branch account का balance दिया है, head office account का भी balance दिया है. If you check, both the account are not match. देखिए पहले से देखिए not matching. You are required to record the following in the appropriate ledger account in both the set of books. It's a very lengthy sum. It's a little bit lengthy sum, but ठीक है, चलेगा, कोई problem नहीं है. Okay, you are required to record the following item in the appropriate ledger accounts in the both the set of books. In both the set of books, we need to record all those transactions. All this transaction need to make the entry. Okay, ये करना है. चलिए goods transfer from HO to the branch are involved at cost plus 10% and both revenue accounts have been prepared on the basis of the price charge. So goods transfer from HO to branch at 110% of the cost. Perfect. 110% of the cost. So it means the invoice price is 110% of the cost. Remember this, okay? Relating to the HO, goods held by the branch on 1st Jan 20 So it's related to the HO goods held by the branch on 1st Jan 20 includes goods received from HO at invoice price 4565. It means the goods held by the branch on opening date of 1st Jan, it includes the goods received from the HO at an invoice price of 4565. It means opening stock include loading. Opening stock include the loading price means profit. Opening stock में क्या छुपा हुआ है? Profit है sir. We need to unload it. We need to see it. Goods invoiced by HO to the branch. I am repeating again. Goods invoiced by HO to the branch at 3641 were in transit at 31st December 20 as was also a remittance of 3500 from the branch. क्या लिखा है यहाँ पे clearly? Goods invoiced by HO to the branch at 3641 were in transit. ठीक है सर. HO ने branch को जो goods invoice किया वो अभी transit पे है. At 31st December 20 as was also a remittance of 3500 from the branch. Okay, see. दो तरफ से यहाँ पे बहुत क्रिटिकल है. गुड्स इनवॉइस बाय HO क्रिटिकल नहीं है, ठीक है. गुड्स इनवॉइस बाय HO कितना इन ब्रांच को 3641 जो कि ट्रांजिट में है गाइस. हाँ ट्रांजिट है तो इसका जर्नल क्या होगा? गुड्स इन ट्रांजिट अकाउंट डेबिट टू HO ये कर सकते हैं हम लोग. एंड एट 31st December you can say at 31st December okay 2001 as was also remittance of 3500 from the branch. It means branch is also making a remittance to the HO of 3500 which was still also in the transit maybe. Okay. At 31st December 20 the following transactions were reflected in the HO books but unrecorded in the branch books. I am repeating. At 31st December 20 the following transactions were reflected in the HO books but unrecorded in the branch books. Okay. The purchase price of the lorry is 2500 which reached the branch on December 25th. A sum received on December 30, 20 from one of the branch debtor 750. It means the purchase price of the lorry is 2500 which reached the branch on December 25th. Okay, see, understand, purchase price which reached to the branch on 25th, a sum received on 30th December 2000 from 1 to the branch date at 750. So this is what the difficulty related to that particular sum. It's a very good sum. It's not so much difficult, but the question frame is little bit of challenging. Okay, little bit of challenging that you need to understand. Okay, I am giving you 2-3 minutes, 5 minutes. Let's look at the sum first. Okay, आप लोग sums को एक बार देख लीजिए and try to focus and try to understand how they are going to do it. Okay, एक बार देख लीजिएगा. फ्रॉम हेयर इट विल मच मोर इजियर फॉर अस टू अंडरस्टैंड. ओके, यहां से मैं समझाता हूं आपको. देखिए, मैं पहले और एक बार क्वेश्चन को गो थ्रू करवाऊंगा, उसके बाद मैं आपसे सॉल्यूशन करवाऊंगा. ठीक है, पहले गो थ्रू करता हूं. आई एम रिक्वेस्टिंग एवरीवन टू प्लीज डू दिस सम्स, ओके, by your hand in home. Okay, now please focus and try to understand each and every part. Again I am going to read. Okay, the following trial balances as a 31st December, as a 31st December 20 cross 1 have been extracted from the books of Major Limited and its branch at a stage where the only adjustment requiring to be made prior to the preparation of a balance sheet for the undertaking as a whole are to be done. Means the adjustments required to be done has been given below, that they are saying. Okay, the trial balance is given in terms of the H1 branch. Share capital balance is only with the HO only. Fixed asset is given for both the books. Current asset is given for both the books. The important note is that in case of current asset, the note 3 is very important. We need to focus the note 3 to understand the adjustment regarding the current asset only. Current liabilities we have 34,567 and in branch 9721. We have some stock reserve which is nothing but the reserve related to the opening stock. We know that there is an opening stock in which goods has been invoiced at a cost plus 110%, a cost plus 10%. Perfect. So there is a stock reserve balance, opening stock reserve balance 693. Revenue account is given, branch account is given, and head office account is given. So I think so this is very important, these two. It is not matching at all. You are required to record the following appropriate ledger account in the both the set of books. Now we need to check out which types of note they have been given. Number one note, that is nothing but the sale, there is given clearly. Goods transfer from HO to branch at invoice price means 100 plus 10%. It means 110% of the cost. So invoice price 110% of the cost. So we just need to calculate the profit and we are going to record it through the stock reserve. Please try to focus. Understand. We have to find out the stock reserve with respect to the goods transferred to the HO and then we are going to record in our books. Okay? Acha. Relating to the HO goods held by branch on 1st Jan 20 cross 1 includes goods received from HO at invoice price 4565. Goods invoiced by HO to branch at 3641 were in transit at 31st December 20 cross cost as was also a remittance of 3500 from the branch. See guys, goods जो received HO से हुआ था at invoice price वो 4565 था. Okay, relating to the HO goods held by the branch. So it means in the opening stock the goods include in the books. देखिए यहाँ पे note 3 कहाँ पे था? Note 3 current asset पे था. It means these 23,715 includes the opening stock. There's not opening stock, you can say the stocks. 23,750 include the stock which has been received from the HO, the price of which 4565 at a cost of 110%. At a cost of 110%. Okay. It means invoice price. Goods received by HO to branch 36441 were in transit at 31st December 20 cross 1 as was also a remittance of 3500 from the branch. Goods invoiced by HO to the branch at 3641 were in transit at 31st December 20 cross 1 as was also a remittance of 3500 from the branch. As 31st December 20 cross 1, the following transactions were reflected in the HO books but unrecorded in the branch books. So there are 2500 amount which is yet to be recorded in the branch books and there is a 750 amount which is received from the branch debtor which is yet to be recorded in the branch books. Okay, so 750 branch books में record करना है, 2500 also record in the branch books. That is a cost. So now let's see. First we need to understand how which types of account we need to prepare. देखिए सबसे पहले बेस्ट है ना, I am going to suggest you whenever you get these types of sum, always refer the first thing is that the HO account. Okay, sorry, HO books. Always refer first the HO books. That's the very first request to me from me. So HO books first prepare करेंगे and in there we can easily record in the books of HO branch account, branch you can say branch not account, branch stock account, stock reserve account. Okay, and branch account, branch stock reserve account. And also if you see there are multiple accounts related to the cash in transit नहीं requirement है. If you don't want to put any cash in transit, please not mention, not a worry at all. Okay, if you want to you can mention it. And then you have revenue account, that is very important because here the separate account is given with respect to revenue. Otherwise आप लोग HO को देखो, HO को देख के समझ में आएगा we need not to maintain any share capital because क्या दरकार है? What is the requirement? Because we only to record all the ledger based on the notes transaction is given. आपको ये समझना है guys. We need to understand we cannot maintain all the account. Rather in which account, in the accounts in which there are adjustments and notes to be recorded, that is what important in us. So share capital is not required, fixed asset not required, not at all. Only the current asset is required, okay, and current asset also not required in the head office. Rather it is required in the branch account. But because in the branch there is certain adjustment relating to the stock is there. Current liability is not required, stock reserve required, revenue account required, and branch account HO account is required. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These only 5 account required, but separate way. Here if you see, there is a cash in transit with respect to that 3,500 rupees which has been sent by the branch to HO, but HO is yet to receive. So the transaction will be what? Cash in transit to HO. So now let's go through the account. Okay. सबसे पहले HO books. HO books we have maintained 4 accounts: branch account, cash in transit account, branch stock reserve account, and revenue account. So first of all, branch account. In branch account, the balance is 31,536. The debit balance. So plot it here. Debit balance. एक एक करके जाएंगे. Okay. अच्छा. After this, we have the revenue account. In the revenue account, we have the balance of 43,210. So go through the revenue account in the books of HO. Here revenue account. See, buy balance BD 43,210. Perfect. Now next, we have something called stock reserve 693. So in the books of HO, stock reserve account. So stock reserve is created 693. It's the opening balance. Perfect. Okay, sir. Now let's see. Next we have something called current asset non required, current liability is not required. So nothing as such required. हो गया, HO का books हो गया. Okay. Now we are going through this particular transaction. सबसे पहले देखिए, देखा how I am going to go forward with respect to the question. First I make the ledgers account, then I plotted all the opening balances. Now my steps is to record all the transaction that has been not recorded in the notes, that has been not recorded through the notes. Okay. Goods transfer from HO to branch at cost plus 10%, and revenue account have been prepared on the basis of the price charge. So just try to focus. If goods have been transferred at 110%, it means the goods include profit. The goods include profit is how much? 10% on cost. So see, relating to the HO, goods held by the branch on 1st Jan include goods received from HO at an invoice price 4565. Perfect. At a price 4565. So we need not to record here. Goods invoiced by HO to branch 3641 were in transit at 31st December 20 cross 1, as was also remittance of 3,500 from the branch. So HO is going to receive 3,500 from the branch. So it means branch has already been given, but the cash is into the transit. So generally be cash in transit account debit to HO. Perfect. But in the branch account, we have to rotate the transaction first. Okay. You can see it is a books of HO. Sorry, I am just making a mistake a little bit. I am telling about the books of branch, where the entry will be what? HO account debit to cash in transit. But in our case, the entry will be cash in transit account debit to branch. So buy cash in transit and to branch account. Okay, that is what we have done. Now next, goods invoice, that is also done. So this is not required because this is branch specific. Okay, this is branch book specific. So what we need to do? First of all, we have plotted 693 in the stock reserve account. Now go to above. Guys, see, in the opening stock, HO sent the goods amounted rupees 4565. So HO sent goods to the branch in which profit is included. We cannot put the profit in our own books. Rather, we are going to unload through the stock reserve. Okay. As well as in the goods invoiced by the HO to the branch is also inclusive of the profit. So this plus this. Okay. Whatever the amount you are going to get, multiply with the, we need the profit only. So 10 by 110. If these two is equivalent to the 110%, then what will be the 10%? It is nothing but the amount will be 746 something. Okay. So the journal will be, it is nothing but the closing amount of the stock reserve because it is lying with the branch. these two are lying with the branch, so it will be the closing balance 746, and the difference between the stock reserve account should have to be charged to the revenue account, because here no branch PL is there. You remember guys, in the stock and debtor method we are debiting or creating the branch PL. As there is no branch PL concept is there, we are going to charge to the revenue account, because revenue is nothing but a PL type. Okay, it's revenue like a PL type. So the branch PL account is balance, sorry, branch revenue account is balance is 53. So this 53 will be transferred to here. So opening balance 43,210, stock reserve 53. So what is the closing revenue balance? 43,5,157. Done, sir. Now go to above. In the cash in transit, no entry as such pending in this particular note. और तो कुछ है ही नहीं, क्या कुछ करना है क्या? नहीं, अब क्लोज करना है. तो cash in transit closing it should be closed. So 31st December, on 31st December the money yet to be received. So buy balance CD 3500, it's closed. Now come to the HO books branch account. So in branch books, opening balance 31,536 and the cash it is in transit 3,500. So closing balance coming 28,336. So remember, closing balance is coming 28,036. So we should remember this part. We have to match this amount. We have to match this amount with, we have to match this amount with what? We have to match this amount with HO account, in the books of branch. We have to match this with HO branch. Okay, this is what we need to understand. Clear है guys? Okay, चलिए. So 28,036 is the amount that we need to match in the HO account in the books of branch. Okay, चलिए ये करेंगे अभी. अच्छा, now we need to go to the branch books. So now first we need to decide which account we need to prepare in the branch books. That is a very biggie question. So see, if you go to the branch books, the first account will be prepared as a HO account. Perfect, a head office account. And then we have to prepare the revenue account. It is truly speaking revenue account. And then we need not to prepare any stock reserve account, but we have to prepare a Sunday current asset account. We have to prepare a current asset because there is an adjustment as per point 3 is there. Perfect. So go through there. They have prepared, one is a HO account. Goods in transit you can prepare because there is a transaction related to the goods in transit that is yet to be received by the branch. They have prepared the Sunday current asset account, and obviously they have prepared a separate account which we are not going to prepare. It's not a matter, but we have to prepare because there is a bank, there is a balance will be there in the motor vehicle account. Okay. So 4 account, HO account, goods in transit account, motor vehicle, Sunday current asset. So both the books have maintaining 4 accounts only. Okay, in terms of this particular solution. चलिए एक एक करके बैलेंस को प्लॉट करते हैं. सबसे पहले करंट एसेट डेबिट 23,715, रेवेन्यू अकाउंट क्रेडिट 10,250, एचओ अकाउंट क्रेडिट 22,645. चलिए देख लेते हैं एक बार. हाँ, इफ यू कम टू सी, बाई बैलेंस बीडी 22,645, गुड्स इन ट्रांजिट नो बैलेंस इज देयर, मोटर व्हीकल अकाउंट विल कम लेटर, Sunday current asset we have something called 23,715. Okay, that we have. Now let's see. एक बार एडजस्टमेंट में चलते हैं guys. Goods has been invoiced 10% at price. Okay. Now see, relating to the HO goods held by the branch, include goods received from the HO at invoice price 4,565 and goods invoiced by HO to branch 364 were in transit. So it means it is in transit. So in the books of the branch, what will be the journal entry? Goods in transit account debit to HO account. Perfect. So go through it first. Goods in transit account debit to HO account. Perfect. So now चलिए एक बार देख लेते हैं क्या हुआ यहाँ पे. See, goods in transit account debit to HO account. So buy goods in transit and to HO account 3641 3641. Perfect. That is a journal we have made. Perfect. These two journal has been done. अच्छा, after this, as at 31st December, we have something called purchase of lorry which reached to the branch on December 25. A sum received of these from one of the branch data 750. So money received from the branch data is 750. Perfect. Money received from the branch data is 750, as well as the branch doesn't record the 2,500 as a purchase price of the lorry. So this is nothing but the motor vehicle account. Perfect. So go to the motor vehicle account. You have purchased it. So when asset has been purchased, okay, by the branch itself, when the asset has been purchased, एक बार देखिए क्या लिखा है. The following transaction are reflected in the HO books but not recorded in the branch books. So we need to understand the purchase has been made by the HO and send it to the branch. So when lorry purchased by the HO, then the journal will be lorry account debit to HO. But here lorry we cannot, so we can say motor vehicle account debit to HO. So on 31st December we made an entry motor vehicle account debit to HO 2500. Perfect. Now see, 750 has been received from the Sunday debtors. So when we receive 750 amount, then definitely there is no such account as will reflect the Sunday debtor. Rather we have a separate account which is called Sunday current asset. Perfect. We have a separate account is called Sunday current asset. We can easily say it. There is a separate account called Sunday current asset. So can we say that Sunday current asset account will be credited, and if the money has been received, then definitely HO will be debited, because obviously HO received the money, but the entry has not been made in the books of the branch. So HO account debit to branch account, to Sunday asset account. So HO account should be 750 debited, and by HO remittance by the debtor directly 750. Sir, how we are going to show this is the journal entries? Now see, go to the journal first. क्या लिखा है देखिए, if collection from the debtor of the branch received by the HO account debit to Sunday debtor, as in this particular question we don't have any separate Sunday debtor balance, rather we are going to show it under the Sunday current asset. Perfect. That is what the fundamental. Clear है? So ये भी हो गया सर. अच्छा, now I think so no such entries pending at all. So now if you close the HO account, then you are going to find out 28,036. That is the balance. And if you are going to close the goods in transit account, you are going to find the balance of 3641. Perfect. And motor vehicle account, no entries required. So the closing balance will be 2500 because asset is there na, depreciation तो charge नहीं हुआ है. So balance will be as it is. Now Sunday current asset. If you see Sunday current asset, there is a closing balance of 22,965. So this is very easy sums. It's an interesting little bit of tricky. We need to follow all the transactions here, and then these 8 ledger has been prepared very well, and both the balance of branch and HO account has been matched subsequently. Okay. So this is what the independent branch we have done. So ये independent branch हो गया. Sonal, Bhumi, Deepika. We have done a comprehensive chapter called independent branch. Okay. Now next part we have the foreign branch. That is the last topic we have left with that particular chapter. Okay. In the branch, foreign branch. Along with the foreign branch, there is a concept. Okay. Along with the foreign branch, there is a concept we are going to learn. The separate concept is called consolidation of the books of the branch and HO books. Okay. Consolidation of the books of HO and the branch books. That's a separate topic. So next day we are going to go through this particular part with respect to this, and I am going to give you some sums, okay, over the group. Please try to attend these sums. I am going to give you 2 sums. Please try it, and next day in the Sunday we are going to discuss those sums also, and then we are going to move to the consolidation of the branch and HO books account. Okay, chaliye. Thanks a lot. Okay, we are going to meet tomorrow itself. Tomorrow we have a class. Okay, chaliye. Bye guys. Thank you.